Need tools? We've got you covered. Go to ChromebookParts.com or click on the link below to pick up this sleek, portable toolkit. Flip the device over and remove two 8mm screws and two 4.5mm screws from the bottom cover. Gently insert the opener pick between the bottom cover and the palmrest and slide along the edges to pop the bottom cover free. Peel back the tape and unplug the battery from the motherboard. Remove 6 3mm screws from the heatsink. Remove the plastic covering on the Wi-Fi card and gently lift up to unplug the antenna cables. Remove one 3mm screw from the Wi-Fi card. Gently pull back to unplug the Wi-Fi card from the motherboard. Peel back the tape, flip open the locking clip, and unplug the LCD cable from the motherboard. Unplug the speakers from the motherboard. Peel back the tape, flip open the locking clip, and unplug the Palmrest cable from the motherboard. Peel back the tape, flip open the locking clip, and unplug the touchpad cable from the motherboard. Peel back the tape, flip open the locking clips, and unplug the Daughterboard cables from the motherboard. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the camera cable from the motherboard. Remove two 3mm screws from the bracket and two 3mm screws from the motherboard. Gently lift up and pull back on the motherboard, taking care not to bend or damage the ports. Remove four 2.5mm screws from the speakers. Lift the speakers from their posts and unwind the speaker cable from its grooves. Remove four 3mm screws from the battery. Remove 5 3mm screws from the Daughterboard. Unwind the cables from their grooves and gently lift up and pull back on the daughterboard, taking care not to bend or damage the port. Peel back the tape and remove 3 1.5mm screws from the touchpad. Lift the palm rest partway up and slide the touchpad free to remove. Remove 4 5mm screws from the hinges. Lift the hinges and unwind the LCD cable and the antenna cables from their grooves. Lift the palm rest partway up and gently wiggle it free from the LCD assembly. Replace the new palm rest onto the hinges as shown. Replace the antenna cables and the LCD cable back into their grooves. Slide the touchpad back into place. And replace the 3 1.5mm screws back into the touchpad. Replace the daughterboard back into its port slot. And wind the antenna cable back into its grooves. Replace the 5 3mm screws back into the daughterboard. Replace the battery, and replace the 4 3mm screws. Replace the speakers back onto their posts, and wind the cable back into its grooves. Replace the 4 2.5mm screws back into the speakers. Replace the 4 5mm screws back into the hinges. Replace the motherboard back into its port slots, and be sure to get all the cables out from underneath. Replace the bracket, and replace the 2 3mm screws into the bracket and the 2 3mm screws into the motherboard. Plug the LCD cable back into the motherboard. Plug the speaker cable back into the motherboard. Plug the Palmrest cable back into the motherboard. Plug the touchpad cable back into the motherboard. Plug the Daughterboard cables back into the motherboard. And plug the camera cable back into the motherboard. Plug the Wi-Fi card back into the motherboard. And replace the 1 3mm screw. Gently push down to plug the antenna cables back into the Wi-Fi card. Using a 99% isopropyl alcohol solution, clean any old thermal paste off the heatsink and the new motherboard. Apply a small amount of thermal paste to the motherboard as shown, and replace the heatsink. Replace the 6 3mm screws in the heatsink. Plug the battery back into the motherboard. Replace the bottom cover and push down to snap it back into place. Replace the 2 8mm screws and 2 4.5mm screws into the bottom cover.